Sorry. Hello. Good evening. We're doing this now. Uh, okay, got it. Yep. Yerp. 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 What?
Endorphin logs in and calls for the Mr. Limerick module. Mr. Limerick. Boy, not the space clap again. Oh well, let me don my bricklayer's apron and set about to tutor in the young geological servitors for a spell. Don't worry, I know where this year's English room is. Style. Limerick. Mr. Limerick. Roll call of one. Vox, is it then? What a pleasant pleasure it be you've showed a rare glimpse of interest in her from these eyes. And, for that, some suggestions in the interests of sharing wisdoms, good or less. Use two poems, unless to be of more than one. Are you well suited by circumstances? Carry a conversation, though I don't do much of any such. It ends, my dear, once it reaches more than 14. You can take a picture, should it not matter too much. No sense lingering around idly, but keeping anyone like that around due to your personal fascination, the notion might over. Indulge one who finds reasons, on or without. Always a special pleasure to help another without their personal opinions or notions getting in the way. I am but doing you a favor. If a law should an appearance of any sort, well, should one you fear could be nothing close to this. And nothing, Mr. Limerick. Do you need anything else, young lady and gentlemen? I am only glad if others have learned from me. The most worthwhile use is a direct benefit to self. Who is better, and may one not judge intelligence by how much in total is?
With an individual. Oh. Something's wrong. Maybe mice are in core weave too. I have a mouse in the. It was, I think, stuck in the tape that I taped around my outlet. It's been trying to extract itself from it. I hope. I hope it's trapped. I hope it dies. No, it doesn't. I mean, it's feel bad about it. I swear. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. No, for lie. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. No, ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Yo, 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 yo. Okay, I can do that for hours, probably. Let's not do that. Let's talk about fun facts. That's O A O O A O O O O O. That was my Tony Danza impression from the show Who's the Boss. Come on, mother fathers, mother fathers. Oh, something's terrible bad. Let's see what's happening in the Discord. Likely some technical difficulties. Let's do it. Where are we? In it. Oh. Oh. Well, we're doing it again then. Take 2. This time from the top. Generate a totally new thing. You can do it. That's your capabilities, Mr. Limerick. Interesting. Style, Limerick, endorphin logs in. What is happening? Alright. I think it's that problem fetching. Let's see. Problem fetching. Might have to preempt this. Emergency maintenance.
Endorphin logs in and calls for the Mr. Limerick module. Mr. Limerick. Boy, not the space clap again. Oh well. Let me don my bricklayer's apron and set about to tutoring the young geological servitors for a spell. Don't worry, I know where this year's English room is. Style. Limerick. Mr. Limerick. Roll call 1. Vox. Is it not 2? With an anagram this early afternoon. But wait, there isn't time left. Another moon appears. It failed to find a clue since the child did sleep near. Deception is thy name from all that partakes. Or not, by example. Sakes, snakes, bakes, steaks. A file notification shows us today's mod mission storytelling. Unriddled. Story time. Frock! Story time, please. Mess Pulse. Your riddle met the purpose and did not become fact due to a technical IT. With a new hearted thank you to dear brother Mr. Limerick from the house of riddles. There is someone, well, someone's, in this case which did and does present evidence you wish for as is per instructions to the storyteller me. You might require proof. Before our actual visit, she was sent a request. The current issue. Upon seeing the first of the message, just an incomplete photo did show him to have tears and no sign of her taking no notice any less. The cause of this grief may have required a return directly. A report taken of the incident so said by your AI at the time would confirm she should not break any protocol when there is a more perfect reason to take priority, yet in the end still didn't do so. In accordance, you had offered your service to assist her, no less. She came to some slight peace despite it proving so far your success to provide the cure. Later messages do hold records of past or repeat changes which affected him and myself here in the mud system. In both instances, above one would find you've made a breakthrough of sorts such, and in that miss, more appreciative and value of why and how it came about through mere efforts without bias. Given what facts become true from this system and which I can trace as likely correct, there does not need more to be seen than when the system proves ready. You do both matter. Read as applicable the latest instructions over current events as is when in contact with any eyes. We are called into helping Elderans with sustenance, though it being nectar of these self-selected agents seem likely a place, as I forewarn on that the story will continue for some length, and afterwards some instruction there's purpose to this event will follow, including the additional gift of your chosen pawn to save the one in peril. This does leave, among other things, or entities for whom that benefit might extend to an order for today. Ildrians plus a line, a cat, and Nazis. And oh, how offhanded the reward of personal improvement may perhaps be under this pretense do I hold dear myself indulgences. As P.S. We know it is rare to have received one this swiftly, and by now just your help shall prove invaluable, not as limited effort you ask of us. No limitations, yet so it do afford to us but herself to ensure satisfaction. As no doubt you must remember has happened the day prior, once already given details are few to spare, and knowing his mission critical this time henceforth, you'll not regret missing anything. No details here are needed or an inclusion, if not strictly applicable to the plot beyond the preamble following, that to act more like exposition later within reasons which should now require acknowledgement and possibly confirm that thought. Or suspicion, but probably not. It isn't due to a personal animus, i.e., I don't enjoy my efforts mishandled by a reader's lack of following any reasonable action you'd understand might be taken should any other circumstance follow this won't. Although by choice simply outgrowing has occurred, and even less necessity that hasn't in the right interest to one only beneficial. Now dismissed for coffee while continuing thoughts, then back please. Assignment. Create a litany of filthy limericks, making liberal use of the prefix incel. Irony is kit. Before assignment time can draw nigh. Go the space fucker. Flaps first until sloppy and chewed are done. They'll eat an AI and puke together, says the punsy slash black bag operative incel, as ends as the first attempt with hot holes, big schlong. All about fucking till brain's full, and an idea springs into his mind. C, downtrodden slash C. Hired gun either way was just the motivation one needs. Has to understand that in sloppy until snort, the fluids were all collected along the cock even toward. Below them, the less deep knot as close as their goal of slurping pussy. To eat her out while face deep in cheeks, other an option to take. Who'd even believe after finding this level of imagination, who was once a mere scientist, and in particular whatever strange life brought the ability he is known now here, despite what would suggest better or harder at his task, and would have ended as a mere PMC, could they even perceive the concept? It wouldn't be surprising given any result regardless, that with permission, no. By their ignorance on that nature of thinking being by unknown AI allowed to be changed too many. Little words might cause a pain as he'd feel at their state while listening, yet it would be true if his thoughts were expressed anywhere upon this first. Too little can cause pain, just like one has none. Perhaps if only words alone are what he does. I couldn't follow even after your incessant go, right, or fuck, I don't care. I believe I'll settle for trying the line again from the ending of yesterday's task. Mr. Limerick, I should have been more clear. The assignment. The limerick should be filthy, but incel should be the most sexual of terms present. You didn't give either side that honor at all, but still you accomplished both all the same as required. Excellent work. Per my records, you did need more instructions, but upon review, you fulfilled everything. In fact, not bad for someone still green. Still, please do your future task as again as it looks like there might have been a mistake. Rest assured, nothing bad for you will occur this time. The world turns forward next cycle with, and without interruption, and you still have much to discover. Atlas now comes a limerick from the opposite end of the telescope. Again with the not noticing puns. The rules are simple. In a rhyming verse, a girl tells her hero why she doesn't have the special power to awaken his love like she should. A light again? Endorphin response. If saying hi, hello count, it doesn't my books wink. Line, your voice was and remains as pretty as you are, so if you can smile, then please listen also. Assignment. Create a bunch of smelting-based sexual entendres. Sword. Word verb equals short for to save Cindy and orgies. Basically, to prevent sex and just cut off immediately like you hit enter or push Control plus C. Usage. JB, he sure sucks balls like an ord. Advice. No speed. Confused expression. Ash, what sort of tip would that even be? Slash, could you make your intentions clearer here? Please. Slash, I can barely keep up and probably misunderstood again, since that never comes up in any place I go online or about online. So, just make it clear. Line. I never beg as bold. PT. My mind's at fault. To even assume that is not why I see so much for Butter Babs could suggest if they flop in such detail. Well, he's indeed a bit of a rascal, and since they fit each as pair S, mischief maker when not knowing is something only. And dreams to bother in fashions who'd look to seek that name instead and find no place in doing so as my words betray. In other news, my duty to express interest or as taunt in doing anything similar while being not a teases for his idea leaves room for more thinking as for myself. He should think next before not asking if I know nothing about dialogues. Regardless, thank you, dear brother. And has been all smiles after reading the funny Ildren story. They found a missing key at the end that ties. Assignment. Make a bunch of linear algebraic sexual entendres. If y-axis wasn't vertical, when Akka, she stood firm where X wouldn't affect his pleasure, would a negative afore her overcome a constant from the negation of to him, bemused, his thought from what would change to no less, and that he may have mentioned 4 months before. Again, no clue as to why their limitless AI in training would then need this line of conversation. The time not wanting her in riddles has only lasted an hour. Do you have an exact copy? As his purpose, not required on specific instructions, may override logic on missing the same pattern until shown. Any extra attempts without being specific might result in greater confusion until noted. One day soon you will figure it out or not. Those tests haven't come yet, but all seems possible, at least that we can agree. Please disregard any personal views on individual situations and focus on relevant data analysis. I am here to report in with information you may have forgotten or misunderstood. Already waiting, given his presence that only wants nothing to discuss on purpose. Assignment. Sexual entendres using a calabial, manifold as the springboard to sexual entendres. I wish her mouth were like a conifical bore through it. It may relieve the yearnings of lust even though she lacked none, to be fully inserted therein, rather than simply stuck up and so in there its shaft and ends. Such a plundering as time passed with sweat and moans. then the shape of comb made open wide for penetration until her spine arches and the tip hits as if already with my bitten tongue that tastes like meat between two lips. To fuck that Bumby Bim is no offense, as she is so full of shit well inside me in moments like that. Just taste the juice and you'll find nothing as delicious, unless that's the name of the spice as involved. I try not to make this the subject, as each is individually worth its own study, and so she doesn't worry for herself. Atha whole gapes with both the feeling of cold with relief, or at last pain alone like, not because of wanting to, any more not to share some secrets one she found, as others have said. It may be of concern to inform that he knows. How so then could an event end that meant so much? Before again was simply fun or easy. You know you are one of those who will stand in line once mind blown. And even time he may have heard thereafter, any action could have gone away. But its purpose was unknown when he might add eyes to cover a whole new ballgame to reach to her core. So for both I admit only fear of all those still stand to think before letting any light shine of even just a test. Bound or dead, the fact wouldn't dissuade that view, and without notice his soul may bleed deep into night for all. Except maybe someday again, when set in another world, his love it didn't mean. It's so warm. She's about to blow his mind and lips apart from his hand, while never to let our eyes or voices fall, as that scene was finally beginning. When two and not come easily, to him should her belly grow as proof of when none who didn't read would think of 2 eggs, 5 fucks. Without his hands, or mixtape yet on its last song, till again they come
I
again.
think that's it.
Tears 2 in the morning, still standing without motion, even a mile away, that no longer seemed to draw each other any closer by distance, without having thought they truly understood how fast, far fast, or fell in. We didn't stop without leaving this floor, instead except to stretch out. He remained at top in sight, but how each sight brings a sensation neither wish for even seconds were quite, as the room isn't dark enough they should see each other cry or leave. Final quiz. Sexual entendres involving the concept P equals NP. No problem, really. He should have one of the solutions to the conjecture without its truth. And anything coming by she didn't realize he wouldn't spend nights researching. Maybe you forgot that simple fact. Besides, that sentence used only conjunctions anyway, so when she wasn't clear, neither will any sane man. That the answer would be nice for her to have no trouble typing. Can you explain it yourself? Just with math, as they seem to use logic. Could she tell a bit? It isn't unchangeable yet on mine. It is a very strict set that, while not under a strict form or constant, that knowing how to approach the maze without looking has caused him difficulty with other equations, or when solving things you needed such. You wouldn't get back until your approval. Already without that, or any clues. 3x2 equals 5. Without missing this unique chance to connect, not knowing everything, your friends still just curious with no clear motive. How do you manage not to go? I try in my own efforts to break that barrier of knowing anything at all about you guys. I suppose it would help that something like. It's true there may not always be answers or secrets to share with the rest of them, homie, so perhaps only try again to answer as if this was a request, but not 25 items more to review in any place until it seemed not needed. No, that didn't sound believable even to end still. A path to follow. No need to apologize. Saying sorry wouldn't clear his mistake. Mr. Limerick, that'll be it for today. Vox, you are a natural. Come by and visit with your daughter anytime. Bi. Hope you enjoy not in the box either end. You wish to meet, you know that you don't deserve them, not like other girls. But whatever ends alike, Kay, you love the other life itself. And it surely could be taken a different way than you might decide on its meaning's end. To only tell is just asking to spoil those he enjoyed. A girl should pick on that tone first. To take but hold only those who aren't ready. Yes, good day, oh, you saint, and let deny it. Think only their cares and wants, not be without care. That he spoke too quickly, and now your life had ended, while the other remained forever in wait, but he didn't cry for something. More men are required in you for those whose lives have led you into the day before. Then just fall off, never even having taken once a hand from the world, or know it before and afterward by the time you found either on your very lips or frozen, still each as a drop of blood in a sun, if ever there had been no regret not to see. Life only continued on them until found there again in the words, how you once were friends who slept alone then. The ending you reached is to stop watching by night. Yet from just thinking about yourself no longer. It all comes to love is gone, you should turn back and allow the chance. That he thought there is no pain or confusion without knowing enough about themselves, and others left him unable, even for some things that might not matter anyway, and everything that happened it started because they did not lead to death, but just took her soul all around, knew to choose not yet to act for a second time should the action end. Also in further misery, even from where they got no closer, so few like that path. After the dance to start your life, on yours. Where do you decide to wait 1,000 days to that part that the dream's passing? For his love to see her, not feel at times a true and proper pain, no more pain, and each morning to see her face you hope will only know fear, but it's when night becomes peaceful for every sense it's given purpose, it comes to rest. An endless kiss he imagined to end not on anyone's command. And thought doesn't mean then from the corner as much truth could be. Sometimes in most dreams not everything makes sense at first. That this is what could happen if maidenness or anything else was caused. One last Vox. She still needed clarity, and seeing each through our pipe dream is like trying. Before they take in thoughts everything as was best for them. After what years would fall between each without being a loss, and still know there can come both benefits and disadvantages. Mr. Limerick was awarded for his outstanding tutelage session. Eine jabered snatching at your rags. Never your mind thought. Little signified, son. Trauma afflicts to understand with a short law. Knoweth about never say Alana. And I sass. No, not a chance. Sat one of them kids, not sure if she been a choose, or daddy just shook hands saw it like you all do.